Hey traders, welcome back on the Pursuit of Wealth. Today is Thursday, November 26th. Happy Thanksgiving if you are tuning in from the US. So our neighbors down to the south, wishing you well and hopefully you had a nice day of rest with the markets closed. Markets were open today in the Canadian market. Wasn't really a whole lot going on or much to report, but in today's video we're going to discuss cryptocurrency crashing. I did a video on this yesterday. If you tuned into that video, the title of the video, you can check it out, was Daily Consolidation Coming. So you can just search that on my channel or go to YouTube, search Pow Group and Daily Consolidation in crypto. Should pop up, but essentially we were scouting hourly oversold conditions. We also got to 4-hour oversold conditions on some names and certain coins down over 30%. So before we jump into today's video, make sure to smash the like, shows me some support, and consider subscribing to the channel and tick the bell, you'll be notified whenever I go live next. So taking a look at some news and events. Like I said, today's video is going to be primarily focused on crypto as the stock market wasn't open in the US. And as we know, it can be fairly boring, but we'll do a quick MJ check-in as well. I had a couple of charts I wanted to share with you folks, but we'll go over some economic data and just overall news and headlines that came out over the last day. So Bitcoin plunged nearly $3,000 after closing in on its all-time high. It hit basically a double top at 19,500, which is about $400, $300 off of the all-time high. But we'll discuss why that happened. And in my opinion, it's because we double topped at the all-time high. I know there's been headlines coming out saying this is why Bitcoin is crashing, blah, 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 but that's just FUD, and all FUD aside, fear, uncertainty, doubt, the technicals were saying we were due for a pullback. We went straight into a parabolic rise and we didn't form any support on the way up. So as I said in my video, don't be surprised if XRP or Ripple or Cardano or all those coins decide to pull back 10, 20, 30%. And that's exactly what we got. But I also said, don't underestimate the bulls. They can probably push this a lot higher. And that's exactly what we did. We went through first long-term level resistances and then made it up, blasted through that first level and topped out on Ripple, for example, near 80, had resistance at 80 cents, topped out, I think, at 78 cents. So I gave that a heads up warning. And I even told my video yesterday, I told you that we were likely going to, started to seem a little toppy. We were probably going to start daily consolidation. So all these headlines aside, technically speaking, we were due for a pullback. We were overextended. We had a double top near the all-time high. It was essentially just out there in plain sight. But Coinbase CEO says the Trump administration may rush out burdensome crypto wallet rules. And this likely has to do with them trying to get as much done in the next month or so before they pass the administration over to Biden. So there's some worries that there's a better article here basically describes it as the US Treasury could destroy the true nature of blockchain by going after self-hosted cryptocurrency wallets. So what does that mean? It means that self-custodial cryptocurrency wallets allow individuals globally to access essential financial services. The U.S. Secretary of Treasury, Steve Mnuchin, is rumored to be working on a law to regulate self-hosted crypto wallets. Regulation of self-hosted crypto wallets is likely to be counterproductive, according to Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong. And we saw that Ripple and Brad Garlinghouse is looking to potentially relocate outside of the U.S. because of these restrictions and regulations that we're starting to see. So we're starting to see a little bit of some longer term red flags here. If there's any merit to this or any continuing developments around this, this could be very bad for the sector short term. But don't be fooled by these headlines. Stick to the technicals. And if you are looking to enter, make sure that you have a plan. You're playing off a support level. And if you don't know what that is, then maybe you want to check out our trading group, which is pursuitofwealthgroup.com or powgroup.ca. And we basically trade stocks, crypto, cannabis stocks, you name it. We primarily focus on the cannabis space and the crypto space, but consider joining us for a 1-week free trial, no credit card required. You can check us out at that website and learn a little bit more about that. So regulators plan to crack down on self-hosted crypto wallets, the importance of hosted cryptocurrency wallets. So essentially, it just means that it gives people the ability to have a wallet from a smartphone that's you know, 5 years old even, and it just gives access to everyday people who couldn't necessarily have a bank account, that type of thing. Why we need to self-regulate. So I'll let you guys read this article in its entirety, but for the sake of this video and time, I'm going to move on. Also, just a heads up, Binance is now blocking users identified as a US person with a 14-day deadline. So Binance now has brought in stricter measures for blocking US persons from accessing its platform. So if you're on Binance, the regular platform, you need to get out of that in the next 13 days. I would strongly encourage you to do it in the next 4 days max and get an account set up on Binance US. It's essentially the same, just has a little bit less features, but they're working on rolling that out more and more as time goes on. But again, you can check out this article on your own, but just bringing it to your attention. We also saw that AstraZeneca and Oxford defend their trials after questions raised about manufacturing errors, that type of thing. We also seen that we believe that this product will never be licensed in the US, one group of critical US-based analysts wrote. So obviously bearish for AstraZeneca, and stock is down as a result. ByteDance has reportedly been given another week to sell off TikTok's US business. So still seeing President Donald Trump told ByteDance on August 14th that it must find a suitable buyer for its TikTok US business or face being blocked in the country. So keeping an eye on that to see if there's any more developments on that, and whether or not we hear more about Oracle, we'll see. But that's pretty much all I have for you guys today in terms of news and events. And I did mention as well that the fear and greed index was getting very, very heated. And I mentioned this in my videos as well, but we were at extreme greed. I believe we were at 98. Let's take a look here. I don't have the graph here with the historical 7 days. Yeah, so we were pushing, we were up to 94 on the fear and greed index. So as Warren Buffett tells us time and time again, buy when others are fearful and sell when others are greedy. And we were at extreme greed, about 94. And again, these are all things that you can start to see start to happen. And when everybody and their dog is texting me, asking me how to buy Bitcoin and stuff, when we've already run and we're already at all-time highs, you know to be looking the other way. And that's exactly what happened. We had a perfect storm. Taking a look at the stock fear and greed index, we're at 91. So also saw an article today that Warren Buffett believes that we're due for a market crash. He also bought stake in Barrick Gold, so that could potentially, and he's been trimming his positions for the last few months, but that could potentially be a little bit of an indicator there that we could potentially expect a crash or a significant pullback in the broader markets, especially in the S&P 500 and the tech sector going over the next few months and into 2021. But that's where we stand. Again, if you haven't watched that video from yesterday, check that out. So let's take a look at some overall charting of the crypto sector. So we are looking to bounce here on Bitcoin and the rest of the cryptocurrency sector. So these are all the 15-minute charts. You can see that on Bitcoin, we changed the 15-minute trend here with a low, high, higher low, and higher high. We attempted to do this on the initial flush down to 16,200, but we never changed the 15-minute trend, and that was the red flag. So we were looking for hourly oversold. We hadn't been hourly oversold on Bitcoin since the 17,000s. Ethereum, I forget when the last time, I think it was down in the 400s. Litecoin was down in the 70s, I believe. Ripple hadn't been oversold on the hourly since the 22 cent range. You get the idea. So this was the first time we saw hourly oversold on most names, and Ripple running over 200%. Just absolutely monster move. Obviously, hourly oversold was going to be a good move, and if you take a look here, we got as low as 45 cents, and we bounced all the way up to 56. So if you would have played the hourly oversold on that, you would have been rewarded with about 21% just from that. So we never touched 4-hour oversold on XRP, but I really like Link because Link was standing out as a little bit weaker than its peers. So it hit 1 hour, while everything else was hitting 1 hour oversold, Link was hitting 4-hour oversold. So I took a position. I saw that we bottomed here around 1151 or 1155, I think it was. I'll bring it up here on the chart. So you can see here we bottomed at 11.55, and that's when we hit hourly oversold. Then I was looking at 4-hour oversold. So in my video yesterday, I said scouting hourly oversold entries, and 4-hour oversold entries, if we get there, would be great. Looking for that, you know, that bottom and that daily higher low. And a lot of names potentially had daily bull flags like Ripple, but the pullback on Link was significant enough not to be looking for a daily bull flag. We know that because taking a look at the daily here, you can see we pulled back very, very nastily here. I don't know if nastily is a word, but nasty, nasty pullback down about 30% from the high, the relative high there. So that's why I was interested in Link as we hit 4-hour oversold and hourly oversold, and knew that we could likely expect a bounce. So if you would have entered on that 4-hour hourly oversold, you could have made 12%. But again, we needed to change 15-minute. We were in a 5-minute uptrend. We needed to change the 15-minute uptrend. So we zoomed out. We had a low, high, higher low, almost a higher high, double top rejection into a new lower low, but we held 11.55 or 11.50 support. We broke it by 4 pennies. And again, that's what gave me confidence entering. So I entered Link around here, and I put a stop just below $11. So looking to hit this, and you can see we're forming a little bit of an inverse head and shoulders here now on the 15-minute chart as well. And it looks like we're trying to break to the upside at this time. Looks like it could be a potential 15-minute bull flag forming, decreasing bear volume, which is nice to see. Not quite oversold yet, or overbought, sorry, on the RSI. So looking real good here. And I'm in a position about, I think I filled around the 11.50, 11.60 range. I think it was 11.62. And then I set my stop below 11, looking to nail that higher low. And like I said, knowing that we're probably due for a bounce here, and probably the most beat up out of them all. And if we just take a look at the monthly chart here, we are 57% away from the all-time high on Link. So taking a look at the hourly, we haven't changed the hourly trend yet. This is coming straight off the low. So most important support is going to be 11.28. So bulls getting lots of room here. Could potentially top out around EMA 26, which is sitting at 12.91. If we do top out there, we'll just look for an hourly higher low compared to that low of 11.28. So bulls got about 8 to 10% to form that higher low. So it's looking good. So for the first time since the flush, we changed the 15-minute trend bullish here with a higher low and higher high. So now we zoom out to the hourly chart, and we'll look for an hourly higher low once we top out. We'll need to lose the 15-minute uptrend. We'll look for the loss of the 5-minute uptrend as well as a first occurrence. But see here, we had a lower high and lower low, but not much follow through. So we zoom out to the 15-minute. When we have bear breaks with not much follow through, we zoom out, we look for a flag, and that's exactly what we have here is a potential 15-minute bull flag on Link. So we could drop as low as 12.40s and still be a potential 15-minute bull flag. So like I said, change the 15-minute trends, looking good. Now we look to the hourly. Once we change the hourly trend, then we zoom out to the 4-hour. Once we change the 4-hour trend, then we can be confident that the daily high or low is set on Link. So that's where we stand. Another position I took was on Ripple. So Ripple, a lot of names when we consolidated, Bitcoin pulled back about $3,000. It lost EMA 12 and 26 support on the daily. A lot of other names did as well. So ADA, Cardano lost it and dipped below and then bounced. XRP stood out, only just barely lost EMA 12. Litecoin lost both as well in a big way. Ethereum just barely under as well, and Bitcoin. So that stood out to me. And because of how high and how hard XRP has ramped over the last few days, I knew to be potentially scouting a daily bull flag. But once we lost the 59-cent range, then the chances of a daily bull flag were obviously out the window. And then we looked to EMA 12 and a potential equilibrium or tightening range as a result of this due to the size of the pullback. So just looking for a daily high or low here on Ethereum, or sorry, on XRP. So Ripple, again, we'll be confident that that has been established once we change the 4-hour trend. So we have a new low here at 45 cents. So now we'll see how big of a bounce here. We did break the high of the previous candle, so the 4-hour bounce is underway. We'll see how much of a bounce here. We do have EMA 12 and 26 looking to cross potentially bearish here, but we'll see how much of a bounce we can get. And bulls will look to form a 4-hour higher low compared to 45.9 cents. And then we'll look up to anything. It's just going to be a potential lower high. We're just expecting a 4-hour lower high on this bounce compared to the high of 72 cents. So anything under 72 cents is a 4-hour lower high, and anything above 45.9 cents is going to be a 4-hour higher low. So again, did we change the 15-minute trend after that initial flush? And the answer is no. We tried back into a downtrend, hit a new low at 45, bounced high, higher low, into a higher high. 15-minute uptrend also could be a 15-minute bull flag. Not really seeing the inverse head and shoulders as clear here, but 15-minute bull flag on watch. If we did confirm that, whoops. If we did confirm that 15-minute bull flag, we'd be looking somewhere around the 61 cent mark. So again, I'm in my position with a stop under each lows, and I'm looking to ride this out. I'm looking to hold this for a little bit. It's Thanksgiving in the US. A lot of people are starting to talk to family and friends, and there could be a wave of retail FOMO. If you remember 2017, that's exactly when it kicked into high gear, the bull run of 2017, and we topped out around January into February is when we started to see the bear market take surface. And like I said, we're just looking for that daily higher low. And when we're in monthly uptrends and weekly uptrends and daily uptrends, you can't be afraid to buy these dips. And regardless of the FUD and headlines out there, that's basically where we stand. And that's what I'm looking at currently in a Ripple position and a Link position. Let's just take a quick look at Bitcoin real quick here. So on the 15-minute, we changed the 15-minute trend bullish. On the hourly, we also have an hourly trend change here. So we have a low, high, higher low. No, I take that back. We had essentially a double bottom here at 16,200, exactly a double bottom. And we need to break the high of 17, let's see here, $17,433. If we can break that level, we confirm an hourly uptrend. We hit 17,344. So a little bit of a need to get over EMA 26 resistance as well on the hourly. If we can get above that, it's looking good. But like I said, hourly, all about the hourly now that we have 15-minute uptrends on most names. 4-hour bounce obviously underway. Again, we'll look to see how big of a bounce we can get. Could potentially be a 4-hour bear flag. So just keep an eye on the 15-minute trend. If we lose the 15-minute uptrend, then the 4-hour lower high is likely set. But again, we're just going to be expecting lower highs on the 4-hour chart compared to 19,500 resistance. So anything under that's a lower high in the 4-hour, and anything above 16,200 is a higher low. So that's pretty much the case with a lot of names. Ethereum, same deal. A little bit of fake out here a couple of candles ago into essentially a double bottom, but we topped out at 526. So we did have a little bit of a double top there, but we'll see how big of a bounce that the Ethereum bulls can get as well. Look to change that hourly trend, but also in a 15-minute uptrend. Hasn't started its 15-minute consolidation yet, so standing out a little stronger than the rest. But we would expect a potential pullback here soon. Need to lose the low of the previous candle, which we haven't done for the last 8 bars. So as soon as we lose the low of the previous 15-minute candle, the 15-minute consolidation will be underway. And it's pretty much where we are. We could potentially look to EMA 12 as a bounce point, so around the 510 area. And let's just take a look. I know a lot of other bull flags are shaping up, so let's just see what we're working with. So anything above the 51, 511.80 could still be potentially a 15-minute bull flag. So if we lose 511.80, then chances of a 15-minute bull flag are decreased significantly. So that's where we stand on Ethereum, and overall, just taking a quick look here. So obviously Quark, Bitcoin, XRP, all the major names basically down 10, 20, 30%. Volatility of Bitcoin is now up 31% on the day. Just take a look at, do we have any short interest at the moment? So shorts are down 17%, which is obviously expected given how much we've dropped, and longs are still down 4% as well. So not really much clear direction there from the shorts and longs. So taking a look, we don't have any indices to cover today. Like SPY, all those ETFs, they were not open today. So not really much going on, not much to report. The dollar back above 92 cents. Gold at 1810, still breaking bearish out of that weekly descending triangle that we called out. And like I said, if we do respect that pattern and drop by the measured move of that pattern, that would put us down to around the 1670s, which is the last weekly high or low. But once we change the daily trend back to the bulls, once we confirm a daily uptrend, we can be confident the weekly high or low is set. But daily bounce trying to get underway. We had 1817, we broke that by $1 and started to pull back. So still not convinced, very rather unimpressive bounce right now, but just keeping an eye on potential. I was looking to see if we saw rotation out of Bitcoin into gold, not really showing any indication of that at the moment, but also not really seeing the dollar go up either. So could be potentially people just selling into Tether, which wouldn't necessarily, show the panic, I guess, especially with the dollar. We saw the dollar ramped and absolutely skyrocketed in March when all of the fear in the markets, the crypto, S&P 500, you name it. So not seeing any indication that funds are rotating out of Bitcoin into gold yet, but definitely keeping an eye on that. US oil down about 2%. So daily inside bar, most important resistance is going to be 46.24. Most important support's 44.76. But daily consolidation likely overdue, and we'll just be looking for a higher low compared to the 40.12 level. Anything above that's a daily higher low. Next daily resistance after that, we have a little bit of resistance up here around the 48s, and then nothing till 54. So that's where we stand on oil. Other than that, that's pretty much all we have to report in that regard. Taking a look at weed, so Canopy Growth Corp. We had a falling wedge on the 5-minute that I was tracking all day today. You can see we broke out of that and we're back testing that resistance now, trying to confirm support. We did have some increasing bull volume there into the end of the day, but upper wick, but essentially just looking to change the 5-minute trend. So low, high, higher, low. Most important support going into resistance is going to be 35.03. If we break above that, we confirm a 5-minute uptrend. Most important support is going to be 34.82. So daily bounce, tried to get underway. We broke the inside bar bullish. Next resistance we'll be looking at is 36.14 and support at 33.55. And that will put us the highest we've been in years. Pretty exciting. So again, weed, Canopy in a monthly uptrend, weekly uptrend, daily uptrend. This is when you need to start buying dips. And Again, not a buy or sell recommendation. This is for educational purposes only. But when we touched off that EMA 12, you can't be afraid to buy those dips. And when that's been holding rock solid along with EMA 26, you can't be afraid to buy those dips when we're in longer monthly uptrends like that. So that's where we stand on weed. APHA, I said, was the lead bull yesterday and was again the lead bull today. So very much standing out as the strongest in the sector. We saw, let's take a look at APHA on the TSX. So up about 3.5% today. Taking a look at Cron on the TSX, down almost 2%. Taking a look at Hexo. Hexo closed at 105, sitting at 105 after hours. And the daily bounce looks like it is underway. We did break the high of 104 and we closed at 105. So we'll look up to resistance at 111 and then 140. I'll do a deeper dive into some of the cannabis stocks tomorrow. I know this video is getting a little bit longer as we spend a little bit more time on the crypto section today, but obviously a lot of people probably wondering or hurting. I know it's hard to be prepared mentally and financially from those drops, but you need to expect it when we run 100, 200%, 30% drop is really nothing in the grand scheme of things. So TrueLeaf up over $37. Getting close to that all-time high at 37.41. We'll see if we can hit blue skies tomorrow during regular trading hours. We do have a shortened day tomorrow as well, but holding hourly EMA 12, that's a nice visual guide, have yet to close below that. As soon as we close below that, that will obviously be a red flag, and I would be looking to at least trim or bail on that position. So taking a look at CL. Take a look here. CL closed flat on the day. Not really much going on. Obviously, a lot of people taking the day off, so not much volume across the board. Everything was well below average. CWeb up almost 5% today. Verisend up 17%. Ian up 11%. TAT over 5%. So, like I said, pretty slow day across the board. Obviously, some winners, though. And just taking a look here real quick, I wanted to bring up the Bitcoin weekly chart. So you can see here that the stochastic is starting to cross bearish, and the MACD is yet to do that. We're still above the 10-week moving average. So if we were to cross that MACD bearish here, if the black line were to cross to the red line by the end of the week, that would be very bearish. And we do have support on the 10-week moving average down around 13,800, so around the 14,000 level. We did hit a low of 16,200 in double bottom, so I think the temporary bottom is in now. Personally, that's just my opinion. Taking a look at the weekly chart, we do have the 50 DMA down at 14,430. And we do have a mini higher low down here around the 15,700 mark. So that's where we stand. Taking a look at the weekly averages, no weekly support down to the 50-day weekly moving average. 50 weekly moving average was down at 99.51, so 10,000 psychological essentially. So we'll see if we can change hourly trends. Then we'll look to 4-hour trends that can confirm that the daily higher low is set, and we'll be confident that the bounce is for real. And like I said, we'll just be looking for lower highs on the daily as well, given the size of the pullback. So just bring up the Bitcoin chart. So again, likely when we top out here, we close this candle in 2 hours. So we'll see how big of a lower wick we can establish here, and we can print on that. EMA 12 looking across bearish through EMA 26 on Bitcoin as well, but wouldn't be surprised if we see us close with a lower wick and then open to start the daily bounce into tomorrow. But again, just likely anticipating a lower high compared to the high of 19,500. So we broke that inside bar here. Essentially, we had a little bit of a fake out. We broke it by $10, $20, and then essentially bull trap into a huge pullback. Trying to get a lot of people loading up, making entries, looking for all-time highs and blue sky breakouts, and absolutely nasty bull trap that we saw there on the Bitcoin chart. So again, we'll just expect daily lower highs, and at this point, we have lost the daily uptrend, but we're going to look to get as big of a bounce as possible. We'll look to break the high of today, which is at 18,915. If we can break above that, then we'll look to 19,500, and then the all-time high is up at around 19,800. So again, all about the hourly chart on most names. Excuse me, frog in my throat. So with that, I'm pretty much going to leave it there, as I'm starting to need a drink of water, and it's been a long week. I know today was a short day, low volume. Tomorrow we have half a day, so the US markets will be closed at 1 p.m. and we are going to be open in the Canadian market for the whole day. So personally, I probably won't be doing a whole lot of trading. I've got my MJ longs, I've got a SPY and QQQ short, and some crypto, a Ripple position, and a Link position that I'm just looking for some oversold bounce plays. And that's pretty much where we stand. So thanks again for joining us on the Pursuit of Wealth for another daily market recap, and tune in for tomorrow for another daily market recap. Make sure to like, subscribe, and tick the bell to be notified when I go live tomorrow. Have a great night, everyone, and take care.